In recent weeks, I made the decision to start replaying Dragonball Xenoverse 2, after not playing it since last Christmas. But as I was playing Xenoverse, I noticed a few things I'd love to see added to the next Xenoverse, or in DLC for Dragonball Xenoverse 2. So when I played the story mode for this game, I was thinking it would be cool if in the next game we would be able to create a demon race character, which is the race of Deborah, Toa, and Mira. And if we were able to create a demon character, that would hopefully mean we'd get a demon realm time rift where we could hopefully do something similar to what is done in the Frieza race time rift, where there is a side story of you joining the Frieza force and working your way up the ranks to Universal Emperor. Maybe as a demon, we could work our way up to the in the demon realm, eventually becoming the Demon King, or whatever Deborah's title was. I can't really remember. However, usually during these time rifts, the side missions, you'd receive a transformation, but I'm not aware of a transformation for the demons in Dragon Ball. There might be in Heroes, but I'm not aware of it. So my idea was using something in Xenoverse 2, but turning it into a transformation. That is the power that villains get. The dark aura with silver purplish glow that you play as in some of the PQ quests. Like the one where it's like Yamcha is number 1, for example. This is something that all Dragon Ball games have shunned in recent memory, for some reason anyway. But I'm sure not only would it make great marketing, it would also be a great way to add content that probably should have been in the original Xenoverses to begin with, which is covering the original story of Dragon Ball, like pre-Z and Super and such, which hasn't been done in many modern Dragon Ball games. I think since like Tenkaichi 3, I think. And it's not like it wouldn't make any sense. Like if you were a villain, right? Wouldn't you go back to a time period where the characters you're trying to kill or alter their history are much weaker and can't fight back, or not even born yet for that matter? Not to mention how perfect it would be that we'd get to play as characters such as Grandpa Gohan, Mercenary Tao, King Piccolo, Android 8, and Jackie Chung or Master Roshi before his younger versions and stuff. And then not to mention the younger versions of already existing characters such as Goku and all that. And then I forgot to mention earlier Chi-Chi as well, because we don't get to play as Chi-Chi in her adult form because she doesn't have a moveset. But as a child, she does actually have a moveset from the previous games that they could use. Not to mention it would give spotlight to a part of the Dragon Ball franchise that no one seems to talk about these days. And it's much better than the GT. Like, if you're willing to cover GT, you'd think you'd be willing to cover the original, right? It just seems like common sense, you know? So I'm sure it's pretty obvious, but in the Xenoverse franchise, they seem to have always skipped over the middle forms of characters, which I don't particularly agree with, right? Because for this new game, the Xenoverse 3, right, it would have been a trilogy since the last game came out, so it would have been like 5+ years since Xenoverse 2. Additionally, with the development time they would have had on Xenoverse 1, Dimps or whoever's developing this would have had a lot of experience developing these type of games. So filling out the roster with the characters needed, such as the middle forms of the villains or the movie villains having their subordinates and stuff, you know, like the Cooler's Armored Squadron or Turles' squad. I don't remember what it was called. You know, having all these missing characters, filling out the roster a little bit with all the characters, that would be simple to do, right? They're just a bit of modeling and adding relatively the same moveset that the characters had in their final forms, pretty much, with 1 or 2 additions, like maybe Cell not having the perfect shot and having some sort of different move, or Frieza having, like, I guess the Emperor's Death Beam would work because he does something like that in his third form, right? Or something where he like impales you with his horns like he did in Tenkaichi 3. Like, it's not too hard, I would assume. It still takes some development time, but it's just rounding out the missing roster, right? You know? Seems like a pretty simple idea, you know? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I just feel like that'd be really cool for the end of a trilogy, you know? Because this is probably going to be the last Universe game, you know? Ended off nicely with a trilogy, having all the missing characters filled out, you know? So this one seems to be the simplest request I can ask for in the next game, which is like to have a second accessory slot, because honestly that is something I missed a lot, because like I wanted to make my created character wear glasses, right, and also have a sword in his back, but the problem was you can only pick one, and honestly that frustrated me a little bit, quite a lot actually. It really frustrated me at that time when I was playing it. I know it's like a stupid reason to be frustrated, you know, but it's just like, it's such a simple thing, you know, so easy to implement. So many other games have done it where you have 2 or 3 accessory slots. I feel like it's a necessary thing for the newer game, because you want to have increase the creative potential for your creative characters, right? And again, it's not that hard, especially if it's like they're on different parts of the body, right? It's just allowing you to use 2. I wouldn't say it takes up much development time. Plus, if they can't put in a simple thing as like 2 accessory slots, it does kind of make you worry what it's going to be like with like more crucial improvements like the netcode, which I'm not mentioning here today because I'm not getting into that right now. But if they can't put in like a second accessory slot, like what are they going to do with more crucial issues like the netcode, or issues like certain glitches that happen with, although I haven't experienced them myself, I've heard a lot about them, but you know, it's hard to say, you know, but yeah, hopefully this is one thing I really hope for, is the second accessory slot. So let's hope to God, eh? Well, I guess at this point, Super Kami Guru, eh? This is probably the most unlikely one on this list, because most, if not all, anime games somewhat fear covering anything from the manga that hasn't been covered in the anime. But I'm personally praying to Super Kamiguru that when they are developing Xenoverse 3, if the Dragon Ball Super anime hasn't started airing again at the time, I still hope they decide to still incorporate the manga arcs and characters at the time into this game, such as the Moro arc, and the characters such as Moro, 7-3, Miris, and new variations of existing characters like Spirit Control Vegeta, Controlled Omen UI Goku, etc. And let's be honest, I believe it's a necessity, because Xenoverse 2 covers pretty much all of Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super, so if the anime hasn't started back by the time this game is finished or in development, their only options are to cover the original series, like mentioned earlier, cover the manga, or start primarily covering stories from the Dragon Ball Heroes game, which at this point I can't visualize, as I have never played Heroes or watched the spin-off anime. But to be honest, I'd be happy either way, though maybe less so if they covered Heroes, to be honest.